I am going to welcome Jessica Miller, who is the founder of Squid Socks. And I have her socks. My family has her socks. They love them. They're really comfortable. And just the conversations that Jess and I've had around how can we get our socks in more athletes' hands? And I was like, well, I got this list of athletic trainers that are super connected to athletes, coaches, athletic directors. Let's see if they're interested. And we kind of put out the feeler, and a lot of athletic trainers are really excited. So this is kind of the beginning of how can an athletic trainer leverage their connections? How can they leverage their contacts, their Rolodex, as I say, and really create value for the individual athletic trainer. Everyone on the call knows that we've been giving away our expertise, our resources, our knowledge with never really a back-end benefit. And this is one of those benefits that if you just tell them about Squid Socks, you can literally make personal income through it. And I'm going to let Jess kind of talk about all of that. But it's pretty exciting because we can be a whole new channel for athletic trainers and organizations like Squid Socks to connect to athletes. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Jess, and she'll kind of give us the update and the lowdown on how the Squid Socks affiliate program works.
Absolutely. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate the intro. Just to kind of, I guess, give you guys a little bit of background information first before I talk about the program. So I would say that for grip socks, soccer players and studio, for example, so that would be kind of your Pilates, your bar, your yoga, things like that. They already understand the benefit of grip socks and they use them currently, right? That's to prevent slipping around, soccer players, fatigue, toe slam, all of those kinds of things. So our vision is how do we amplify that kind of across all of these different types of sports, right? Because it's applicable to pretty much every kind of sport other than swimming or gymnastics. So that's our big vision for this. And where you guys come in and what's so amazing and valuable is that you are already a trusted source, right? And so there's this educational component for a lot of people that they don't, say they're playing volleyball or basketball, they don't understand the benefit of grip socks yet, right? So you can actually speak to that as a trusted source of information. And that is incredibly important and valuable, like I said. So that's kind of big picture. For us, people obviously understand the benefit of a good shoe, but that internal piece, that layer, that sock has really been overlooked. People talk about it, but I don't think they give it enough credit and how much that actually makes a difference for just comfort, stability, injury mitigation, all of these things, right? So that's kind of our vision in a nutshell. And when it comes to the program, so there is a PDF that was sent out, and if you didn't get it, I'm happy to send it again. It kind of talks about, again, our vision, what our socks do. There's 3 different heights and the features that come with that. And you can recommend any of those. Oh, sorry, Adam, I thought you were going to say something. Anyway, so in this program, there is a link on the last page, I believe. It's the WaveOn affiliate link. So you click that and you go to that page, and that is where you sign up. We use a platform called Social Snowball. That's the affiliate backend platform that we set up. You go in there, you apply, I will manually accept you. And then from there, you would receive an email that says something like, welcome, thanks for signing up. In that email, you will get a personalized link and a code. So you can use either or. You could print out a QR code with it if you wanted and hang it up on the wall or post it on social, however you want to do it and interface with your clients and athletes, that's up to you. But you receive 20% commission on anything that you sell. And then your client, your customer, your athlete gets 15% off of their purchase from that. When you sign up, you get a free pack. So all of our socks are sold in 3 packs except for 1. You can pick whatever one you want, any color, any size, any height, it doesn't matter. So that's up to you. Then we will ship that to you and you can wear it. If you find you want another size or style, just let me know, email me personally. Happy to do that. I've been thinking a little bit more too, that it might be beneficial for all of you to have at least one of every height. That way you could show people in person. If you want to try different height yourself, my personal favorite is the ankle for various reasons. It has a few more features than the no-show, but that is totally up to you. So I'm happy to send some for samples, again, so people can feel them. You can see them all in person. Just say the word, but you get that free one initially. And it's pretty much as simple as that. So if anybody has,
I mean, the one thing I would say to the athletic trainers, start the process. You guys know my philosophy: crawl, walk, run. Sign up for the affiliate. That's easy. Get a sock, start to use it, understand how it works, how it makes you feel. And if you have feedback, go back to Jessica to tell her what's going on. You might have questions, she can answer them. And then once you know how it works on your foot and how it makes you feel in an active mindset, doesn't mean you have to be winning a gold medal. That's going to make you a stronger opponent when you talk with athletes. Maybe you know a local Pilates studio and you could go directly to the owner. Maybe you know just an individual athlete that wants it, but you have to be a user of the system before you start to sell it. So that's why I say go directly, sign up for the affiliate, get the socks, start to play with it, and go from there.
I echo what you just said, Adam, 100%. And we want you genuinely like and believe in the product, right? We don't want you guys out there pitching something that you don't believe in. So that's another big reason why we want you to wear the socks, and we want you to try them in action, whatever your activity is of choice, and give us honest feedback. And throughout this process too, don't be afraid to come to us and say, hey, overall, this is great, but our athletes are saying to tweak this a little bit. We are very receptive to that. I promise you have to try super hard to hurt my feelings, but we can make new samples and we can learn, and we are not in the mindset of, oh my gosh, this is perfect and nothing can be improved. That there's always room for improvement, right? So your input is incredibly valuable that way. So don't be
the other perspective of the athletic trainer, we are their trusted advisor. Like, they look at us as the expert on what they need. They literally can have a simple first-degree ankle sprain, and if you suggest, you know what, there's a better sock for you to play sports, and here's why, they might buy it. I'm not going to say 100% of the time they're going to, but there's a good chance they're going to listen to your feedback, your guidance, and it's better than them going to Walgreens, going to Dick's, and buying just another Nike sock. They've never had this opportunity before. And a lot of what I've been doing is marching new territory just because they have never had an alternative. And I think that's the benefit of working with Jessica, is they've created an alternative to the everyday sock, which is a better solution than the everyday sock. But in order for that to be successful, it's the education that needs to come into play. And we as athletic trainers are educators. We're empowerers. We want them to do better, but they just need to know what is out there. So that's where this relationship can really be valuable for all of you. And I don't know if there's data on this, and this is where we can maybe get some over time, but anything from the toe to the hip, if there's an injury, how can the Squid sock benefit, improve, get them back to return to play faster? So think about all of that when you're talking to an athlete, because it's a much tighter fit in their shoe than regular socks. And I'm saying that from firsthand experience.
Thank you for saying so, Adam. Yeah, we have a lot of great use cases, that's for sure. There's a lady that was playing, I'll use another pickleball example, that had to stop playing because she kept getting bloody toes so bad. And then she started wearing our socks and said that she can now play pickleball again. I've actually heard that a few times. So things like that are really encouraging, just getting people back into something that they love too, even if it's just recreational. That means a lot.
Actually, I think the one thing that you haven't mentioned yet, tell me the genesis of the grip sock and how it actually is already in Europe, and you're just bringing it here. So there's already this huge adoption across the world. Just US is a little bit behind time.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, there was it was a guy from Argentina, big into racket sports, so paddle and pickleball and things, and we were having a conversation with him not that long ago, and he seemed so shocked that, what do you mean grip socks aren't widely adopted across all kinds of sports in the US? Because for him, I think he's from Argentina. He said, we just understand that there. We understand the benefit. And it was kind of, why would you play X sport in anything other than a grip sock? So that's kind of the mental model that we're trying to change with Squid socks. And, being that kind of first mover and shaker, other than soccer players get it in Pilates and things, it's that big educational component, which is where you guys come in. And that's, we so appreciate this relationship for that, because it's going to take a little bit of education, but I think the opportunity is the difficulty, and vice versa at the same time, right? So I think we're paving the way for something very incredible in the sports world. And I'm just really grateful that you guys want to be a part of it. So thank you.
Jess,
anything else I
go ahead,
quick
James.
question.
Go ahead. Yep.
Well, I was just wondering, are you going to bring them to the retail market, or are we? Because I like, from what I'm like, I was doing like help with insoles, and it seemed like
Mhm.
went to the wayside because it just went to the retail stores pretty much.
That's a great question. So we have some. Oh, were you done, James?
Oh, yeah, I was done talking. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't interrupt you. No, great question. So we have some on Amazon, but that's very, very new. And we have some on Anthropology, of all things, and that's your Pilates crowd, right? So we do well there because those people, they already understand grip socks for that benefit. We have started a few months ago. I don't know if you guys have heard of Shields. It's kind of like a giant Cabela's or Dick's Sporting Goods with a Ferris wheel, and it thing is massive. So we're in 3 retail locations there. There's some on their website, but I will say we have been very burned by big box stores in the past. And so we are incredibly picky with who we go into business with there for many reasons. But I will say, what we would like to do in terms of retail is, because this requires that educational component, I see this as much more of kind of a small mom and pop type of retail store. If we went that route, where you have somebody take I'll take a Fleet Feet, for example, right? Where you go in, people are already willing to drop money on, $200 pair of shoes, but you have a sales associate who's kind of an advocate for your feet, and they are going to take that extra time to talk about, oh, here's all the different kind of socks we offer, and here's why you want this type of sock, and rather than just throwing it up on a shelf and hoping that it sells and people understand the benefit of grip, because that's asking a lot. Let's see, any sales in Florida yet? I hope that answered your question first, James.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, perfect. And let's see, where did your message go, Jess? So how do I answer that question? We have been trying for a long time, and we have a lot of pickleball connections, and we've gifted and seeded for a lot of events and things. But in terms of actually getting, like, I guess, a retail presence in, I think we tried the Fort, and, we even went in person. They were like, oh, we have socks. I don't know if they know the difference in ours. And it's just, yeah, again, I don't know. Nothing's manifested from that. So I don't know if that helps answer your questions, but we've done, again, a lot of events, a lot of product seeding, but in terms of like a physical presence, I guess, for pickleball, just not seeing that. Even locally, we're in a few local stores here because we have some pickleball places that just popped up, and we're in those locations, which is great, and they do well there. But it helps that we're local and we can go. But yes, awesome. That'd be great. I think you go ahead and send me an email, Jessica, and we'll find a time to chat. I'll put mine in just in case one more time here. And you guys can always bug me on my cell too anytime. I will say, I guess this is in the literature a little bit, but I have been surprised how much, obviously the grip is a big thing, but how much athletes talk about the breathability of our socks. So that's something I'd be really curious to hear what you guys think when you try some yourself, because we use majority viscose from bamboo, which is just ultra breathable, most performance socks. There are pros and cons for every fabric type, but we get that call out a lot. And I'm always surprised that sports socks don't use fabrics that breathe, because it's of all the times that you would need breathability in your footwear, that would be one of them.
How like, what's their shelf life? Like, how long would an athlete expect them to last? Because that question probably will come up.
That's a great question, and it's a, I hate to say it this way because it's a really hard one to answer, because so my husband is super active, like name the sport or activity, he does it, and he is hard on his stuff. I mean, hard on his stuff, and he washes it like with everything else. It doesn't matter, just throws it in, right? And he has never had an issue, right? No holes, no nothing, and it's been, oh my gosh, I mean, over a year for some of them. Other people, you know, I've only had, I can count on one hand that this has happened. And I think it's everybody's foot is different. The type of shoe that they're using is different. The type of activity that they're doing is different. So some people, they have this, I guess, spot where it'll rub on top, for example. And I don't know, that's like maybe 4 or 6 months later. So I can't definitively say, oh, after this amount of time. It really depends on how hard they are, how active, what their foot is like interfacing with their shoe, and all of these other components. So, you know, I want the feedback from anybody if on I guess durability and longevity. So, because I'm always trying to tweak that while maintaining that breathability, and not having to use so much, you know, polyester, for example. While it's durable, it doesn't breathe at all. So that could be a tighter weave, the needle count, all of these things. We added a little poly to the toe and heel to reinforce areas that normally have a lot of, I guess, that kind of rubbing in those areas. But I know that's not a perfect answer, but it's an honest answer of it really just depends.
No, that's a good answer. And as far as washing them, are they something that have to be washed on their own or anything like that?
We always, I guess, to cover our butts in packaging, we always say, oh gosh, you know, like delicate and hang dry, but who the heck is going to hang dry their socks? I have 2 young kids and I'm certainly not going to do that. I don't have time for that. So I just throw them in our regular wash. I throw them in the regular dryer. If I feel like I can get to it, I'll put them in a laundry bag or a garment bag. And part of that, honestly, is just for easier retrieval, because they're already in a bag. I have to take them out of the dryer. So I have done regular washing and drying since we've had them and not had an issue at all. The silicone is a very, very high grade. It's right under medical grade. I think we can't say medical grade unless it goes in the body, but it's a platinum silicone. So it's very soft, but very grippy, and it's heat cured actually. So there's no glues or anything that are used at all. But I have never had an issue with mine. I will say if you're harsh and you use bleach and things like that, that's probably going to wear them out faster. They do take longer to dry. That is something that we've noticed because of the high bamboo content. Just a heads up. I hope that answers the washing and drying question, but
yeah, good.
Okay.
Well, is there any other questions? James, Jess?
Not off the top of my head, nope.
Cool. Yeah, I will share this. You guys, like I said, get on the affiliate program, get it on your foot, walk, run, play pickleball,
Mhm.
whatever you can do with it. Give Jessica feedback and really just start talking about it with your athlete contacts, friends and family, and you literally make money. Like, this isn't that hard. We're trying to make this super simple as possible. There's nothing more we can do. And I know athletic trainers have a challenge of putting on that sales hat, but athletes want us to tell them what to do. And this is one of those direct ways to compensate your expert.
Oh, I think you're
Let's
freezing
make it
there.
happen. Hi, Jess. Well, yeah, thanks so much. Yeah.
All right. Well, again, super excited, super grateful for you guys just have the interest in this to begin with. Very, very much appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Deal. Yeah, we'll stay in touch and we'll go from there.
All right.
Thanks,
Beautiful.
guys. See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. Have a great
You
weekend.
too.
Have an awesome weekend.
Okay,
Thank you.
See ya.
bye-bye.
Bye.